When I saw Mr. Gaither from over HBCU Game Day put up a post on Twitter stating that his close sources confirmed that Howard University could possibly be leaving to go to the CAA conference, had me wondering what in the heck is going on. And I'm not gonna tell you no tale. The Twitter sphere was ablaze with everybody asking questions about, how could this happen? Why this? Why that? Just trying to get some type of understanding of what's going on. The narratives have changed. There's a lot of this and that going on here and there. And people are just wondering, like, what would make Howard make this change? And how would this actually affect the MEAC now that Howard has decided that they want to go on to another conference? Let's get into it after this. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And also tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's nothing positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and tap on in this thing and get straight to it because we got a lot to unpack here when it comes down to exactly what's going on from the standpoint of the MEAC, especially from the beginning, the genesis of when it started until now. And we've already known that there's been several commissioners that have come and gone. And now you have Ms. Silas, who is now the commissioner over the MEAC, that has a tough task at hand trying to figure out how exactly is this going to take place if Howard decides to leave in 2023. Well, I'm going to put it to you like this. The MEAC has been in existence for over 50 years and being created from the oldest conference, which is the CIAA, that is a Division II conference to become a Division I conference, which is known as the MEAC. Now, they have definitely had their success over the years, having up to 16 Division FCS sports with automatic qualifying bids for NCAA postseason competition in baseball, bowling, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's cross country, football, men's and women's tennis, men's and women's track and field, softball, volleyball, and also men's golf. I know y'all like, Coach, okay, that's all well and good. They got a lot of teams over, they got a lot of different sports over there that's playing. And I'm gonna put it to you simple and plain. The MEAC have seen teams leave the program or leave the conference many times before and move on to other conferences and come back, like Morgan State, North Carolina Central, Maryland Eastern Shore, Winston-Salem, A&M, who has left for the second time, along with Bethune-Cookman, who went on to the SWAC. You had Savannah State, who went on to the SIAC, as well as North Carolina A&T, who went on to the Big South. Now the CAA. Now, the latest rumblings that we're hearing right now is Howard is on their way out the door and the MEAC is about to crumble. Well, guess what? To be honest with you, the MEAC can still compete with the remaining members while trying to get other suitors to become a part of the conference. How can they do that? From a football standpoint, those who remain in the MEAC, they could play a home and home, or they could do kind of like what they did in the spring game where they played teams. They played the teams within the MEAC, and then they play some teams outside the MEAC that can fit them into their schedule. Or better yet, you have Howard is ready to go, and you already have North Carolina A&T that's going over to the CAA. They may be able to possibly work out something where they can get games to play teams within that conference or other conferences around once everything goes through. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, they can still have a competitive schedule. And, a lot of folks be out there, oh, man, it don't make no sense. Why would they do that? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The question I have for you is, who could they get to become a part of the MEAC? Now, remember, the pandemic created a lot of this that's going on right now because everyone was looking at things from a financial standpoint, i.e. the gas money that it was costing for them to go from state to state, the mileage as far as from leaving from one area to go to the next, the lodging and so on and so forth. Remember one thing, in order for these teams to go to these different places to play games, it costs money for them to go there and play. In some instances, I'm sure it wasn't feasible for them to make those travels to get to some of these destinations to play these teams because why? The attendance was low. They didn't have many fans there at the games watching the football games that's being played between their home team and the visiting team, making sure that things all panned out accordingly so that things would, run a lot more smoothly from a financial standpoint. Now, can we say the game has changed? Yes, we can. HBCUs are now looking for that pot at the end of the rainbow that consists of TV time, more financials to help their HBCUs to do more on campuses, to give the students a better enhancement when it comes to college life and things of that nature. So if those things are happening, guess what? It's time to make change. And I mean, I understand, yes, this thing has been going on now for the MEAC for over 50 something years. Yes, you have Commissioner Silas. She's just been in the seat for what, maybe 6 months now, if that long. And she's trying to put a plan together to get things in order to see what's happening. Yes, you're going to see some changes that's going to happen as far as teams say, hey, I think I want to go ahead, move on, go somewhere else, because I don't really see the value or see the plan that she's put in play. I don't see her vision. And, you know, that's very well understood. And sometimes you have to let folks go in order for them to come back, and which we've seen them come back time and time again. But I will say this: when you look at things from an attendance standpoint for North Carolina A&T, who's already left the MEAC and gone on to the Big South and now the CAA, they're averaging what, 12,000 plus. 12,000 plus in attendance per game. Now, Howard, on the other hand, they're averaging 6,529 per game in attendance. So, you know, when I looked at things from that standpoint, I said, hey, North Carolina A&T, they have gone through the growing pains as far as with trying to get their footing as far as with their winning ways that they had when they left from the MEAC and moved on to the Big South. Now you have them getting things in order from a recruiting standpoint, because we already know it took them a while to build things up in order for them to get the necessary recruits in place for them to really position themselves, for them to make that move to go to a different conference outside of the MEAC. Now, Howard, on the other hand, they may be able to compete in other sports, but football, we already know it's going to take some time for them to build that up a little bit more. But you know what? I'm going to be real with you. Like I said, I do believe Commissioner Silas has a plan in place. I'm sure she's generating a plan that would allow the remaining teams to compete at a high level. Howard wanting to go to the CAA leaves many wondering why. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. One thing that rings in my mind is this: the MEAC objective to establish the conference back when it first came about, when they separated, when I think it was 7 teams separated from the CIAA and decided that they wanted to come create their own. And I'm gonna be honest with you, how their objective to create the MEAC goes as follows: objective to establish, organize, and supervise an intercollegiate athletic program among a compact group of educational institutions of high academic standards with a sound philosophy of core curricular activities. Look up core curricular, please. I'm not being funny. I just want you to look up core curricular activities, and that might help you a little bit. Coach could be wrong, but what I'm saying is that you have to understand the mindset of how many may be thinking. Some may not be looking at it from the standpoint of they're going to have, you know, a football team that's going to get out there and really compete to where they're going to possibly win a MEAC championship, going to the Celebration Bowl and kick behind in that game and win that big money game. They may not see it that way. If it happens, cool. But you know what? Sometimes people get in those ruts where they want to be amongst folks that they feel are similar to them. Yes, Howard is an HBCU. All I'm simply saying is, from a standpoint of higher education, this may be something that Howard may be looking to do based on that. My mentor always said to me, stop screaming at the problems and provide solutions. Well, I have a few to share, and those are the commissioners from the SIAC, the CIAA, the MEAC, and the SWAC. They all need to sit down together and devise a plan of how they can build the HBCU sport infrastructure into something that will continue to grow. We already see social media presence is a necessity. That is something that each one of these institutions are going to need to get out there and make sure they get their footprint for people to see that they are active on social media. Yes, I know they don't want the negative connotation to come along with what goes on social media, but I say put some parameters in place that will prevent those who want to get out of pocket with it. You can shut that down immediately. Let them know, hey, listen, we're not going to go that route with this. You need to redirect that somewhere else. They got to find a way to make themselves more marketable. They got, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the games that are going on right now with the softball, the baseball, there's no way in the world that these games should not be shown on somebody's daggone network. If the USFL can get their game shown on the USA Network, come on, guys, what are we talking about? like I said, it's time for change. I understand that, yes, you guys may have plans in place. I'm not poo-pooing on that. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not shooting it down. I'm not even talking against it. I'm not talking negatively towards it. All I'm simply saying is that right now it's time for the iron to strike. And sometimes you have to push the plan a little bit ahead quicker than you anticipated, because guess what? We may miss opportunity. And all I'm simply saying is that right now, yes, there's a lot that can be done for all HBCUs, not just within the MEAC, but I'm talking about the CIAA, the SIAC as well. You see the SWAC, they're trying to put things together so that they can move things forward. Yes, you have Tennessee State out there looking to make moves that they haven't been in a HBCU conference in God knows how long. And now you have North Carolina A&T who have gotten out of the SWAC. They've gone on to another conference. Now they're moving again. So basically, all I'm saying is that we need to collectively sit down and get an understanding of what is the basis for why these institutions are looking to move. What is called what's the big cause for them to want to say, hey, I want to go somewhere else? I mean, heck, you even need to sit down and get an understanding from FAMU and Bethune-Cookman on why they decided they wanted to leave for the MEAC and go over to the SWAC. I'm just being honest with you. It takes, people must understand exactly what's going on. Yeah, I know the philosophies and thinking of everyone is totally different. I get that. But at some point in time, what are we in this for? Are we in this to make sure that we're able to continue to keep building this thing to where we want to see it go? Or we just say, hey, we're going to roll with what we have, and whatever comes through the door, we're fine with that. If it doesn't come through the door, then hey, we at least try to put something out there and nobody wanted it. I'm just asking the question. I'm not here to shoot. I'm not here to stir up no conflict. I'm just asking questions because I'm trying to come with some solutions. But guys, leave your comments below. Let me know what are some of your solutions as far as how we can help move this thing forward in a positive direction. Because guess what? You're going to see more and more programs going to start leaving conferences to go somewhere else. And then guess what? All we're going to do is we're going to be right back here having the same conversation once again. It's not only with the MEAC. You've seen it happening in the CIAA as well as the SIAC. So let's get things together so that we can uplift this program, uplift these conferences, all of them, and build it into something that we can see great. We see the ACC, the Big Ten, the SEC. We see Pac-12 and all of those other conferences doing good things for, you know, their different teams that's a part of those conferences. Why can't we do it on the HBCU structure? That's all I'm asking. But hey, until next time, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. And remember, be the one and lead.